Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 8, Chapter 6. We have been reading the description of Lord Vishnu when he appeared in front of Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma is offering these beautiful prayers. And we read a reference that the Lord's form was blackish, like the Markata jewel. So the Markata jewel is not emerald. Neha clarified it. It is the Neelam, bluish color. So we're continuing to read the purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I'll just quickly read the translation. Lord Brahma is reciting these prayers. As one can derive fire from wood, milk from the milk bag of the cow, food grains and water from the land, and prosperity in one's livelihood from industrial enterprises, so, by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, even within this material world, one can achieve your favor or intelligently approach you. Those who are pious all affirm this. So we have been reading the purport by Srila Prabhupada. So we are going to continue. In this verse, the cultivation of Bhakti Yoga is compared to many material activities. By friction, one can get fire from wood. By digging the earth, one can get food grains and water. And by agitating the milk bag of the cow, one can get nectarian milk. Milk is compared to nectar, which one can drink to become immortal. Of course, simply drinking milk will not make one immortal, but it can increase the duration of one's life. Actually, drinking milk is supposed to be a pious activity. You know? By drinking milk, we develop finer brain tissues to understand spiritual knowledge. In modern civilization, men do not think milk to be important, and therefore they do not live very long. Although in this age men can live up to 100 years, the duration of life is reduced because they do not drink large quantities of milk. This is a sign of Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, instead of drinking milk, people prefer to slaughter an animal and eat its flesh. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, in His instructions of Bhagavad Gita, advises Go Raksha, which means cow protection. The cow should be protected, milk should be drawn from the cows, and this milk should be prepared in various ways. One should take ample milk, and thus one can prolong one's life, develop his brain, execute devotional service, and ultimately attain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As it is essential to get food grains and water by digging the earth, it is also essential to give protection to the cows and take nectarian milk from their milk bags. Like Lord Brahma is saying that, it's important to drink milk, and then it's important to dig the earth, to get water, to get food grains. Similarly, if we want to get favor of the Supreme Lord, we need to engage in devotional service. This is what we understand. The people of this age are inclined toward industrial enterprises for comfortable living. But they refuse to endeavor to execute devotional service by which they can achieve the ultimate goal of life, by returning home back to Godhead. So we can see the whole society, we as a society, how much of our time and energy is going to make our bodies more and more comfortable. And then when it comes to devotional service, we feel, we don't have enough time, we are tired, or we have other commitments. But in fact, and we are not able to understand that, let me rather engage in devotional service, how much ever I can, because then this can be our last life. I can go back home, back to Godhead. Unfortunately, as it is said, Nate vidu swarthagatim, hi Vishnum durashaya hi bahir arthamanina. People without spiritual education do not know that the ultimate goal of life is to go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah, we don't have this spiritual education from the beginning of our life. What we are taught is try to make the body as comfortable as possible, get material knowledge, do all material things. But whereas actually the purpose of human life is to revive our love for God and go back home, back to Godhead. Forgetting the aim of life, they are working very hard in disappointment and frustration. Mogasha moga karmano, moga jnana vichetasaha. So we can see sometimes we may work very hard, but all it leads is to frustration and struggle. The so-called Vaishyas, the industrialists or businessmen, are involved in big industrial enterprises. But they're not interested in food, grains, and milk. However, as indicated here, by digging for water, even in the desert, we can produce food grains. When we produce food grains and vegetables, we can give protection to the cows. While giving protection to the cows, we can draw from them abundant quantities of milk. And by getting enough milk and combining it with food grains and vegetables, we can prepare hundreds of nectarian foods. We can happily eat this food and thus avoid industrial enterprises and joblessness. So we can see that society, we are getting more into factories, giving up agriculture. Everything is packaged food. But if we can try to understand that there's fresh produce, and with the fresh produce, also cow protection, have enough milk. We can have food in the mode of goodness, and this can be offered to Krishna. Agriculture and cow protection are the way to become sinless, and thus be attracted to devotional service. Those who are sinful cannot be attracted by devotional service. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.28, Yesham tva antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam tedvanva moha nirmukta bhajante mam vridavrataha. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. The majority of people in this age of Kali are sinful, short-living, unfortunate, and disturbed. Manda sumanda matayo, manda bhagya hi upadrata. For them, Caitanya Mahaprabhu has advised, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kalo naste va gatiranyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. So we are not able to understand that actually there is no other way. That the only way is to chant the holy name. But Chaitanya especially came to give us this. What we are doing is we are turning away from the scriptures. We want to become more and more modernized, go more towards machines. And in that, what we are doing is we are shortening our lifespan. Sometimes we hear people younger than us dying, and then we're like, oh my God, what happened? So our lives are getting shorter and shorter. We are being more stressed. But if we can again turn back to cow protection, agriculture, take up devotional service, we can live peacefully in this life, and at the end of life, go back home, back to Godhead. Is that okay?
Yes. I have one question.
Hmm.
So here it is very very prominently mentioned that we should drink cow milk. But these days, what I've been hearing from friends, other studies, or everybody, they say that we don't need milk. We don't need to drink the cow milk. So can you, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but is it that we should drink milk, right?
See, like how the
Yeah.
vegan, no? They say, right? You shouldn't be
Yeah.
drinking.
Said
Mhm.
like, "Ki,
Yeah.
so why are you like you're how can you drink the cow milk? And the pesticides, the food that they're eating is full of pesticide and it is not good for you." So I just want to clarify like what is actually right.
And actually, now the milk
See,
which we are getting is not fresh, also, no?
That's what
Right?
I'm hearing. So like
Uh,
is it the right thing that we should not drink milk? Because it specifies more on drinking milk, more of using that milk in different um our food. It should be involved in more of our diet, like somehow the milk. So like what to do?
yeah, so it's going to be like a personal choice at this point because we
Hmm.
can see also that sometimes that the cows are mistreated for the milk, you know. So
Hmm.
what we can do is try to drink fresh milk, try to drink milk from cows that are treated well, who are happy, but sometimes that may not be possible. So again, now it's going to come to like a very personal choice, because people are going to pull us in different, like there's so many different propagandas happening. But the scriptures are saying that we should drink milk right now, just like how
Hmm.
Brahmaji is also saying. Yeah. So the scriptures say that we should drink milk. By drinking milk, it's a pious activity actually.
So we should drink then,
And so
right?
that's
The
why the cows should be protected. The cows should be protected so that there can be enough milk for everyone.
Hmm. So does this also imply like how the philosophicals or the like how the dietitians for their own benefits they just bring out some new theory and then we should try to follow what's written in the shastra?
Yeah,
They could speculate, right? That's what it means, right? So
yeah,
we should
yeah,
drink
it
milk.
could
Doesn't
be.
matter.
Yeah. Although now another consideration comes up, many people say lactose intolerant, not able to
Hmm.
digest the milk. Then, of course, when
Hmm.
health is concerned, then we have to use
Hmm.
our own judgment that, okay,
Hmm.
am I able to digest it or no? But otherwise, as you said, many people are just doing so much propaganda without actually following the scriptures. As Prabhupada is saying, we are slaughtering the cows. In fact, the
Hmm.
cows should be protected. They should be protected, they should be loved, and then lovingly give the milk.
Hmm. Okay, makes
yeah, but
sense.
you see that the cows are really being mistreated, no? Just
Yeah,
to get the milk, and you know how they are badly injected and beaten. So
yeah,
then,
it's true. It's not right.
right?
Cows should be protected. The cows should be loved. We as a society, we are becoming inhumane towards others. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, where's the humanity then? When we are mistreating others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
So, of course, then everyone will have to take their own decision whether they want to drink milk or what type of milk. That's going to be like a personal decision. But the scriptures are saying, yes, that cows should be protected and that we should drink milk.
Hmm.
Right, going
And
on.
it says, like, for the development of the brain, like towards
Yeah.
spiritual, no? Yeah, to
It's
drink
really
milk.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, to develop finer brain tissue so that
Finer
we can
brain.
understand spiritual knowledge.
So that's the main important point. Like, it doesn't matter if something for like the lacto intolerance or something, but if it helps you to, develop that spiritual, more finer tissues that will help you develop in your spiritual journey, then I think it's really important, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because we all
it
want that.
is. Huh? I'm sorry?
Because we all want to develop
We
our
all want it.
spiritual,
Yes,
yeah. So
yes,
it's important then.
yeah, it is. It is important. And so that's why we need the cows. We should protect them.
Wow.
Okay, going on. Tvam tvam vayam natha samujihanam
Tam tvam vayam nato samujjihanam
sarojana bhakti chire sitartham
sarojana bhakti
Drishtva gata nivritam adya sarve
दृष्ट्वा गतानिर्वृतमद्य सर्वे
Gajadva davarta ivaga kam ambaha
गजातवर्षा इव अम्ब.
Elephants afflicted by a forest fire become very happy when they get water from the Ganges. Similarly, O my Lord, from whose navel grows a lotus flower, since you have now appeared before us, we have become transcendently happy by seeing your Lordship, whom we have desired to see for a very long time. We have achieved our ultimate goal in life. The devotees of the Lord are always very eager to see the Supreme Lord face to face, but they do not demand that the Lord come before them. For a pure devotee considers such a demand to be contrary to devotional service. So, although the devotee is eager to see the Lord, he doesn't say, "Oh, now you come before me, now I'm your devotee, I'm doing so much hearing and chanting, and so now you must come before me." The devotee doesn't demand. This is what we were reading today morning in Bhagavad Gita, that the devotee waits for the mercy of the Lord. By the grace of the Lord, then the devotee can see the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches this lesson in his Shikshastaka. Adarshanan marmahatam karotuva. The devotee is always eager to see the Lord face to face, but if he is broken-hearted because he cannot see the Lord, even life after life, he will never command the Lord to appear. This is a sign of pure devotion. So the pure devotee, he's like, whenever the Lord is pleased with me, he will appear. Therefore, in this verse, we find the word Atichira ipsita artham, meaning that the devotee aspires for a long, long time to see the Lord. If the Lord, by his own pleasure, appears before the devotee feels extremely happy, as Dhruva Maharaj felt when he personally saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Dhruva Maharaj saw the Lord, he had no desire to ask the Lord for any benediction. Indeed, simply by seeing the Lord, Dhruva Maharaj felt so satisfied that he did not want to ask the Lord for any benediction. Swamin Kratarthosmi Varam na yache. So when the Lord appeared before Dhruva Maharaj, Lord asked him, "What you want?" And Dhruva Maharaj said, "No, I don't want anything. I've seen you. I don't want anything now. I was just looking for broken pieces of glass. And now I've seen you." Then the Lord said, "No, but still, because you came to me with a desire, I will still fulfill your desire. And gave him the pole star, Dhruv Lok. A pure devotee, whether able or unable to see the Lord, always engages in the Lord's devotional service, always hoping that at some time the Lord may be pleased to appear before him, so that he can see the Lord face to face. So the humility is there in the pure devotee. He does not say, hey, I'm such a pure devotee, so now the Lord should come before me. No, rather he is very humble. And he's like, I'm serving the Lord, and whenever the Lord is pleased, although he has a great desire to be with the Lord, to see the Lord, but he is also humble at the same time. So, and he's waiting for the mercy of the Lord. So this is the mood of the pure devotee that Lord Chaitanya is telling us in the Shikshastika prayers. And same is now being said by Lord Brahma also. Is that okay?
Yes.
Swapam vidhatva akhilaloka
Sotvam vidatsva akilokapala
vayam yad arthastava padamulam
Vayam yadartha tav padamulam
samagataste bahirantaratman
Samagate
Samagatasti
vayantaratman
imanya vigyapyamashesha shakshinaha.
Kimva anyavijñāpayamasheshakshinah.
My Lord, we, the various demigods, the directors of this universe, have come to your lotus feet. Please fulfill the purpose for which we have come. You are the witness of everything from within and without. Nothing is unknown to you, and therefore it is unnecessary to inform you again of anything. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 13.3, Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. The individual souls are proprietors of their individual bodies, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the proprietor of all bodies. So this is what we are reading right now in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That inside the body there is the soul and super soul. The soul is only, we are only in our own body, but the super soul is in everyone's bodies. Since he is the witness of everyone's body, nothing is unknown to him. He knows what we need. Our duty, therefore, is to execute devotional service sincerely under the direction of the spiritual master. Krishna, by his grace, will supply whatever we need in executing our devotional service. In the Krishna consciousness movement, we simply have to execute the order of Krishna and Guru. Then all necessities will be supplied by Krishna, even if we do not ask for them. So Lord Brahma is saying, my dear Lord, you know everything. What else can I tell you? You know what our desire is. Yeah, you know it. And yesterday there was a reference that the pure devotee can also see past, present, future, like Lord Brahma can see past, present, future. So to the degree the Lord reveals to them, to that degree they can see past, present, and future. To the degree that the Lord feels that they should know, then to that degree they know it. Aham giritrascha suradhyayo ye
Aham giritrascha surathayo ye
dakshadayognir ivaketavaste
Dakshadayune iv ketavakte kim vaste
kimva vidamesha prathak vibhata
Kimva vidhamish pritak vibhatah
vidhat swashamno dvijadeva mantra.
Vidasvacham no dvijate mantram.
I, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and all the demigods, accompanied by the Prajapatis like Daksh, are nothing but sparks illuminated by you, who are the original fire. Since we are particles of you, what can we understand about our welfare? O Supreme Lord, please give us the means of deliverance that is suitable for the Brahmanas and demigods. In this verse, the word Vijadeva mantram is very important. The word mantra means that which delivers one from the material world. Only the Dvijas, the Brahmanas, and the Devas, the demigods, can be delivered from material existence by the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a mantra and is suitable for delivering the conditioned souls from mental speculation. The conditioned souls are engaged in a struggle for existence. Manasasthanindriyani prakriti sthani karshati. Deliverance from this struggle constitutes the highest benefit. But unless one gets a mantra from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, deliverance is impossible. The beginning mantra is the Gayatri mantra. Therefore, after purification, when one is qualified to become a Brahmana, Dvija, he is offered the Gayatri mantra. Simply by chanting the Gayatri mantra, one can be delivered. This mantra, however, is suitable only for the Brahmanas and demigods. In Kali Yuga, we are all in a very difficult position in which we need a suitable mantra that can deliver us from the dangers of this age. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his incarnation as Lord Chaitanya, gives us the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Kalau nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. So before, mantra could be chanted only by Brahmanas, by the demigods. But now in this age of Kali, we have no qualification. How can we get delivered? Mantra, we heard, is words spoken by the Lord, instructions given by the Lord to get out of this material world. So what should we do? That's where the Lord came. Lord Chaitanya came and gave us the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. In his Shikshastika, Lord Chaitanya says, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtana. All glories to the chanting of Shri Krishna Sankirtan, the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is directly chanted by the Lord himself, who gives us this mantra for deliverance. We cannot invent any means to be delivered from the dangers of material existence. Here, even the demigods such as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva and the Prajapatis such as Daksh are said to be like illuminating sparks in the presence of the Supreme Lord, who is compared to a great fire. So even Lord Brahma is saying in this verse that you are like the fire, and Lord Shiva and Daksh and me, myself, Brahma, and the other great demigods, we are like tiny sparks of your fire. Sparks are beautiful as long as they are in the fire. Similarly, we have to remain in the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and always engage in devotional service. For then we shall always be brilliant and illuminating. As soon as we fall from the service of the Lord, our brilliance and illumination will immediately be distinguished or at least stopped for some time. So we are part and parcel of Krishna. Prabhupada is explaining the sparks look good when they're connected to the fire. If they fall down off the fire, then they might be extinguished, at least for some time. We are spirit souls, so we are eternal, but then our brilliance is also covered, right? We forget we are the spirit soul, we forget our relationship with Krishna. We're suffering here in the material world. When we living entities who are like sparks of the original fire, the Supreme Lord, fall into a material condition, we must take the mantra from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as it is offered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, we shall be delivered from all the difficulties of this material world. So God Himself came to give us this Hare Krishna mantra. What we simply have to do is chant it, accept it, and chant it. Get out of this material world. Any comments? Questions? Okay. Shri Shuka Vacha.
Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Yeah.
Evam virinchadibir iditastad
Evam pirinchadividitastat
vigyaya tesham hridayam yatheva.
Vigyaya tesham hridayam yateva
Jagada jimuta gabhiraya gira.
Jagadijimutakapiraya gira
Badanjalin samrita sarvakaraka.
Badanjalin samrita sarvakarakan.
Sukadev Goswami continued, when the Lord was thus offered prayers by the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, he understood the purpose for which they had approached him. Therefore, in a deep voice that resembled the rumbling of clouds, the Lord replied to the demigods, who all stood there attentively with folded hands. So how did the voice of the Lord sound?
Rumbling of the clouds.
Rumbling of clouds, yeah. His body is blackish like the cloud, his complexion, and his sound is also like that of the rumbling of clouds. Always fail to understand how that sound would be, but yeah. Eka eveshwarastasmin
Eka eveshwarastasmin
surakaryesh sureshwaraha
Surakarye Sureshwarah
vihartu kamastan aha
Vihartuskam
Kamastan aha
samudron mathanadibihe.
Samudra Unthan Adibhi.
Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of the demigods, was capable of performing the activities of the demigods by himself, he wanted to enjoy pastimes in churning the ocean. Therefore, he spoke as follows. So, Krishna, you can do anything, right? Like, for example, when Indra had prayed to him that you kill Vritrasur, he said, I'm not going to kill Vritrasur. You do, you go ask the Dichi for his bones and then you kill. So Lord also has his pastimes. Here he wanted to enjoy the pastime of churning of the ocean. So he's saying, Shri Bhagavan Vacha,
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Anta Brahman Aho Shambho,
Hanta
Brahman
Shambho.
He Deva Mama Bhashitam,
He
He
Deva
Deva Mama Pashitam
Shrinuta Vahita Sarve,
Shrinuta Vahita Sarve
Shreyo Vasyadhyatha Suraha,
Shreyo
Shriyo
Swadhyatha Suraha.
Vasuraha
the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other demigods, please hear me with great attention, for what I say will bring good fortune for all of you. Yata Danava Daiteyas
Yat Danavaदैत्यस्य
Yes.
Tavat Sandhir Vidhiyatam
Tavat
Tavat
Sandhivyatam
Vidhiyatam
Kalin Kalena Anugrahiteste
Kalena
Kalenanugrihites
Yavad Bhava Atmanaha.
Yavat
Yavat
Bhava Atmanah.
As long as you are not flourishing, you should make a truce with the demons and asuras who are now being favored by time. One word in this verse has two readings, Kalena and Kavyena. Kalena means favored by time, and Kavyena means favored by Shukracharya. Shukracharya being the spiritual master of the Daityas, the demons and Daityas were favored in both ways, and therefore the demigods were advised by the Supreme Lord to execute a truce for the time being until time favored them. So the Lord was saying, now the demons are very strong. Don't fight with them. Rather, you make some peace agreement with them. Come to some kind of some kind of agreement. They are being favored by time, and they are also favored by Shukracharya, because this one. But I think Bali Maharaj had pleased Shukracharya, and so he was giving them mercy. Indra had displeased Brihaspati, Indra displeased Durvasa, so they were being cursed. So right now the demons were more powerful because they were pleasing their spiritual master, and also time was favoring them. Arayopi hi sandheya
Aryopihi Sandheya
sati karyartha gaurave
Sati
Sati Karyatha
Karyatha
Gaurave
ahi mushikavateva
Ahi Mushi
Ahimukavadeva
hi arthasya padavim gate.
He
He
Arthasya
Arthasya
Padavim Gatehe.
Gate.
For demigods, fulfilling one's own interest is so important that one may even have to make a truce with one's enemies. For the sake of one's self-interest, one has to act according to the logic of the snake and the mouse. A snake and a mouse were once caught in a basket. Now, since the mouse is food for the snake, this was a good opportunity for the snake. However, since both of them were caught in the basket, even if the snake ate the mouse, the snake would not be able to get out. Therefore, the snake thought it wise to make a truce with the mouse and asked the mouse to make a hole in the basket so that both of them could get out. The snake's intention was that after the mouse made the hole, the snake would eat the mouse and escape from the basket through the hole. This is called the logic of the snake and the mouse. So, because snake and mouse both in the basket, if snake eats the mouse, the snake is still going to be in the basket. He won't be able to get out. So he's telling the mouse, okay, we'll be friends. You make a hole and we'll both escape. As soon as the mouse makes the hole, the snake can eat the mouse at that time. So the Lord is telling them that right now, don't fight with the demons. Your self-interest is important. You're just simply going to be vanquished. Don't do that. You come to some sort of a peaceful agreement with the demons. Because one has to see one's own circumstance, one's own self-interest, and then make a decision. Is that okay?
Yes, very intelligent. The snake was.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it takes intelligence, because someone may say, no, why I should
Yes.
fight, and come into the ego and say, no, I'm going to fight.
Very good example. I mean, it shows like,
And I've never heard this story. Like this is
yeah.
also something new. Not even Jhataka or any no tales. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, this is what the Lord is telling us to do. That we
Mm.
have to
So when
see
we
our
see such
Act according to the
situations, right,
situation.
then
Is
we
it?
should, yeah, act that way, right?
Yeah. Act
Yes.
according to the situation.
According to
What is
yeah,
situation, yeah.
act
required.
according to situation. That's right.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. Let's stop here for today.
And
Srimad
Shilpa ji,
Bhagavatam. Yes.
one more question. I was because I had missed the few parts because I go on the cycle. So I was reading this. So that means that this is the Ajit Lord who appeared because he was the one who gave them the manthan in the previous. Is it?
This is Lord Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu. Yeah.
This is
Not
Shirodakshay
Ajita
Vishnu,
yet. Yes.
right? So not
Yeah.
Ajita then.
What's the difference?
He was in one of the yugas, he appeared as and then he helped, right? Lord Ajita. It is written in mm, just 1 minute. In Sharir, Tek Jagat, हमारे पूजित पुरुषोत्तम हरि इसमें तेज सूर्य के समान था. It was written somewhere, so let me find this exactly and then we can clear. Okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Right now we are reading after Chakshusha Manvanta.
Yeah.
So then,
So I think Lord appeared in that as Ajit.
never mind, you can read it and we can discuss it
Yeah,
tomorrow then.
because I'm not able to find it somewhere here. So let me reread it and then I'll get back to you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
All
Thank
right. Okay, thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada
Jai.
ki jai, Gaur
Jai.
Bhakta ki jai.